What's up, everybody? I'm here with Play-Doh. Welcome to the show. We are going to be talking about Snow White. Well, we're going to be talking about two different Snow Whites today. Because one, we've got a live-action remake by Disney. It's probably going to be one of the worst movies to ever release, ever. It's going to be critically panned, no doubt. Well, by real critics. The fake ones, the ones who parrot everything that corporate media pushes out these days, they're going to say that that movie is amazing. But real fans of Snow White, real OG fans of Disney, the ones who are trashing current Disney these days, they're not going to be happy with Snow White, and this movie's probably going to financially flop. Why is that, you ask? Why is that going to happen? Well, it's because of a few things. One, Rachel Zegler is a very cruel person. She's very anti-male, parrots a lot of left ideology talking points in media, in interviews, and she also has this strange misconception of what Snow White is as a film. She never even liked the original film as a kid, and she thinks that the prince is a stalker for some reason. I don't know who taught her all these things. And not to mention that there's not even going to be 7 dwarves in this movie, okay? They're all weird activist-looking people. They're not dwarves at all. The plot is not about a princess being saved by a prince. They're basically just rewriting and redefining the story, which is a problem I think is ramping up as time goes on. But now you've got the Daily Wire. And it says right here in this article from Deadline, the Daily Wire is making a live-action Snow White movie starring conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper. And yeah, we're going to take a look at the teaser so you guys can see what Daily Wire is working with here. And it's really funny. I think it's a great troll on their part. It's also a legit movie from what I understand, but we're going to read about it. So check this out. Conservative media company Daily Wire is making its own live-action adaptation of the Brothers Grimm fairy tale Snow White, called Snow White and the Evil Queen. The film, which is set to release in 2024, that's next year, will be the first feature-length production for the company's kids' entertainment platform called Bentkey, and will star conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper, host of the platform's show, The Comments Section. And I did not know this until I read this today, but Brett Cooper apparently is an actress turned conservative commentator. I only knew her as a conservative commentator. I didn't know she was an actress beforehand. And that was very interesting. The Daily Wire today revealed a teaser for the movie, which opens with a melody voiced by Cooper, and it was really pretty good singing, and written by Jeremy Boring, and a pan through a forest to reveal Cooper as Snow White. Now, I have my criticisms of the Daily Wire. That is not to say that they can't have their wins, and I do think the Daily Wire is good in a lot of ways. They're a great alternative form of media as well. So check out this teaser here. Pretty interesting. I think you've got, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but you have an idea of what kind of atmosphere they're going for here. It looks a little bit dark, a little bit grim, okay, like Grimm fairy tales. Snow White's holding an apple. And, I mean, it looks like it's high in production. They've had good films in the past that look really good. The stories weren't all that bad either. And there you go. So you got Brett Cooper there, Snow White and the Evil Queen. Really funny, honestly. And this is going to be going up against Disney's Snow White. So, announcing the project to staff today, the Daily Wire's Boring said, it's a story about a princess and a prince, about beauty and vanity, about love and its power to raise us from death to life. It's our own adaptation of an ancient fairy tale. I'm so glad they made this too, because that actually encapsulates what Snow White is about. This is the complete opposite of Disney's Snow White that's coming out. You have to understand that these two films are going to be drastically different in scope, in atmosphere, in tone. I mean, they're going for a total girl boss movie at Disney. And by the way, this is a German folktale. It's a very old folktale. So the Daily Wire can make movies like this. They absolutely can. Quote, I was raised on the original Grimm's fairy tale, so I'm thrilled that we're bringing this iconic story to life for the next generation, said Cooper. Snow White is such a beautiful character, and I'm honored to be playing her. Like all the best fairy tales, this is a story with timeless values like love, friendship, and kindness, and I can't wait to share them. Actress turned conservative commentator and YouTuber Cooper is also starring in the company's fantasy series, The Pendragon Cycle, which I have not seen, but it is very interesting that she was acting before this. And her, by the way, her attitude of Snow White is also vastly different. But I think that most people who are sane and not crazy, like some people up in Hollywood, have a generally positive view of the old Snow White movie. Everybody acknowledges how groundbreaking it was for Disney Animation and for the company as a whole, and it has defined generations of little girls. And it looks like they're trying to recapture this. Now, I think that this troll is something that Disney absolutely deserves. They've completely turned their backs on their fan base, and all they do now is insult anybody who disagrees with them. And now that they're financially suffering, perhaps now they're starting to rethink their strategy in terms of finances and in terms of what kind of movies they're going to be releasing. Now, if I'm going to tell you the truth, okay, I'll be completely honest, this movie probably will not make as much as the Disney movie, because the Disney movie still has a really weird die-hard fan base that's going to pay for it. And though Daily Wire is a form of alternative media, I'm not sure exactly how far this movie can go in terms of competition, but I do think that it's a great way to stick it to corporate. I really do. And it really speaks volumes that people are reacting so positively to it as opposed to the other movie. And I do think that Disney should take note of that, especially if they want to succeed in the future, which is not looking like a possibility right now. Quote, while Disney still uses Walt's name, they have all but abandoned his legacy, he claimed. It's taken 100 years to build Disney. We know we aren't what they are today, but we hope in time we might become what they were once upon a time. A little studio with big ideas and the courage to chase them. When I first watched the trailer, it kind of reminded me of Once Upon a Time, which was that ABC family TV show where they retold all of the classic fairy tale Grimm stories and pushed them all together, with Snow White being a main character. I think the first couple of seasons were amazing for that show. It was a great show until it started getting really weird, and honestly, I think it got really woke as well as the show went on, but they don't have enough fairy tale stories like this out there on the market right now. And so to see Daily Wire come out and bring a full production film like this to the table, I think is really empowering, and I think it is something that people need overall, despite any disagreements I may have with the Daily Wire. What do you guys think? Are you going to be seeing this movie, or are you going to be seeing the Rachel Zegler Snow White movie? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance to share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Later. Meow, meow.